So, guys, I did it. I picked up the Google Pixel Fold. Well, kinda. I just bought it. Obviously, it has to come in the mail. We're doing unboxing and reviews of it whenever it does come in. But starting off right away, yes, so this is going to be my third foldable phone right here beside the Galaxy Z Fold 5 and the Z Flip 5. I also got a Surface Duo 2. The reason why, because yes, I do own a Surface Duo already, Surface Duo 1 and 2 already, but I wanted to get another one because I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to get the Obsidian model, and with the Surface Duo whole ecosystem kind of, going away because all the phones have been discontinued, I wanted to go ahead and pick one up and see how, if I can use it as my daily driver today. Because the ones I have, the Surface Duo 1 and 2 I have, the one I have, it has Windows 11 on it and it's kind of like buggy a little bit. The Surface Duo 2 I have, the battery is just absolutely awful. it's horrendous. So I wanted to kind of get a generalized, newer experience. And also, of course, getting one is always interesting. So where did I get it? Well, first off, I got mine from Mercari. Now, of course, you can go on eBay, Mercari, anywhere to get a, whatever phone you want, whether it is an iPhone, a Z Fold 5, or this phone. Now, it's very tricky when you're buying a phone on a secondhand site because obviously you're not buying it from Google, you're not buying it from Samsung, you're not buying it from Apple, and there's always that kind of risk factor, right? First off, you can get a fake phone. That's always a problem, so that's a chance it could happen. It used to be back in the old days with the Z Fold devices and a lot of Samsung phones that Samsung would actually ship out a different inside unit for their US versions versus their international version. So if you buy an international version of phone, then yes, you're probably going to get I think it was a Qualcomm something processor. It wasn't a Snapdragon processor. So you get a lesser version. You also get a different heat coil inside the phone. It's a whole entire mess. Nonetheless, though, that's not the case anymore. Samsung stopped doing that, so that is awesome. Second thing you have a problem with, especially when you're buying foldable phones, is that, you guessed it, the inside display. Because if there's any issue with the inside display, sometimes people will go ahead and tell you and kind of like give you the information, like, listen, there's a problem, this and this. But sometimes people just go, oh, my inside display is absolutely perfect, see? And then there's a problem down the line you find out about. So there's always problems, that's issues with buying phones from eBay and all those sites. But again, the reason why I like doing it is because you get it for a lot cheaper, right? So a lot of times, especially with the Google Pixel Fold, right? A lot of people just picked it up and they might have just bought it, the second it came out. They got so excited about it just coming out and they just go, okay, I'm going to buy this phone. When they do that, the problem is a month later, they have buyer's remorse, right? And they're just like, oh, can't believe I spent $1,800 on this phone. So then they go to sell it back and they try to make their money back. That's usually when they sell for a lot less. So for example, right here, the Google Pixel Fold Verizon, $1,542 for this phone. So again, this phone is $1,800 new, but this phone right here is $1,542. Now for Mercari, this is a really big thing I'm going to tell you. As you can see, 1,664 reviews. That's awesome. That's great, right? But here's the problem. If you see no reviews, do not buy the item. There is a scam going around with Mercari. I fell for it before, where when you go ahead and put in, like, for example, if it has 0 reviews on the user, they'll put it for like 1/3 of the price or 1/5 of the price. You think you're getting a great value? No, it's a scam. They're not going to send you the product. So just keep that in mind. Look at the reviews, and this is kind of how, whether you buy on eBay, Mercari, whatever site, this is how you're going to be able to kind of see if it's a scam or not. It's not always going to be the case you're going to be able to see, but sometimes you will. As you're going to see, okay, well, this is a seller, CW Electronics, 1664 views, that it looks good. Now, this is brand new. It is Verizon, so keep that in mind. Some of these will be Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, whatever. It will be strictly locked to that carrier, some of them. For example, these two phones I have in my hand right now are both unlocked. They're globally unlocked. Now, I will tell you, when you are buying a phone, whether it is a Google Pixel Fold or any phone you're buying, when it says unlocked, does not always mean unlocked. What I mean by that is there's two different versions of unlocked. I think it's the GMST version, and then there's one other version. Now, the difference between those two, one is unlocked to certain carriers like T-Mobile, Cricket, Virgin Mobile, and I think it's also Sprint. Those four. Meaning, if you have that unlocked phone with that, with Verizon, it will not work. It does not matter that's unlocked. There is different things. Now, the other one, the GMST one, that is globally across the board, everybody. So just keep that in mind. Just because it says unlocked, you might have to message the seller and say, hey, listen. Now, this obviously is Verizon, but you might have to message the seller and be, hey, listen, what kind of version is it? Now, that doesn't apply usually to Z Fold 5s, Google Pixel Folds, Z Flip 5s, whatever. These usually aren't like that, but iPhones and many other candy bar cell phones, yes, that's a problem. You want to make sure, you keep an eye out on that. Okay, so just saying that right now, keep an eye out when you are buying a phone online, that is going to be a problem. Now, again, this is $1,542. That's not bad price tag. Obviously, $1,800 is what it came out as. Now, you're going to see there's some other price tags here. We got $1,600. They give you the Fold and a watch. It looks like it's not going to be brand new. And you're going to see this one. Again, keep a look at the pictures. Keep in mind, whatever you get picture-wise, you see in the pictures, that's the device you're getting. So don't go ahead and fall for it, or I guess not fall for it. Don't go ahead and, not pay attention, think the price is too good, and then just go ahead and buy the phone. So this one, you can see the screen protector's on here, right? So we can, right away, this looks scratched as all heck. It might not be scratched. It might just be water they kind of sprinkled on there trying to wipe off the screen. Whenever you're taking a picture of selling in front of the line, please, do your due diligence, get a microfiber cloth like this, and just go over this display and just really clean it up. It makes it so much easier for you, for people buying your phone. It's just so much of an easier, situation. But again, this is a screen protector. We can see around the circle. Now, this is the outside screen protector. It's not the inside. The inside cannot be removed, okay? That's it. But this is the outside one. So what this means is this can be removed. So this person has an outside screen protector, and it looks a little scratched up. But again, if you wanted to, you could just say, I'll remove that screen protector, and now I don't have a problem. So that's good for you. All right, next picture. And again, look at every single picture they post, guys. Don't just look at one. Don't just look at two. Don't just take the word for it. So they might say, this is like brand new. And then you might be like, oh, that's brand new? No, don't take the word for it. They don't have pictures. If they don't show it, don't buy it. That's pretty much how I look at it. So, for example, okay, we're going to look at this picture. It's a little dusty, okay? It's a little dusty, but that's normal when it comes to these foldable phones. Dust really builds up in the corners, especially underneath the plastic. So, what I recommend doing, if you don't have this already, get yourself a microfiber cloth like this. But I also have a video on the channel I want you to check out, and it's actually how to clean these cell phones with this magic pen I have, and it's so much better, okay? Because there's little bristles, it goes around the screen and it protects it. I have a video on the channel, like I said before. But anyway, though, so it looks like they try to wipe this off as best as possible. I will tell you right now, it's kind of funny. Here's another thing you want to take in consideration. Again, always take in consideration, they're taking this picture with a Google Pixel Fold. So that means they have two of them. Sometimes you can use that as a leverage to get the price cheaper. Because if they have two, most likely they're trying to get rid of this because maybe they bought the wrong color, or maybe not the best storage option, and they realized they needed more, or they just, something went wrong, right? And it's also, its consideration is, this could be something is wrong with it. Because why did they buy two? Why are they trying to unload this one when they clearly already have one? So it's always questions to take in consideration. And remember, you are the buyer. So message the person, ask the person what's going on. Hey, listen, is there something wrong with this phone? Can you tell me the history, what's going on? Now, this phone did just come out a month ago, but again, you're the buyer. Ask all the questions you want to ask. All right, next one we have here is the picture of the LTE Pixel Watch. Now, I'm not sure they show the Pixel Watch. They do not show the Pixel Watch. If I am the buyer here, I'm probably messaging them, asking them to show the Pixel Watch, because what happens if you get this and then the Pixel Watch is all scratched up and banged up, and now you got yourself a Pixel Watch that is a problem, right? So you want to take that consideration. All right, so now we looked at the pictures. We got all that kind of good stuff, info down. By obviously, we have 29 reviews, 25 listed, 21 sales. We can look at Hugo's profile right here. See what he's selling. This is another thing. See what he's selling, because sometimes you might be like $1,600. I mean, that's not that bad of a price. But then you might see he sold another Pixel Fold for cheaper. Keep an eye out on what he's selling, because that's going to help you out kind of with negotiating the price tag down a little bit, maybe. And again, not always are you going to get that. You're not always going to get the price tag, lowered. But sometimes it's good to just kind of take a look and say, okay, what is he selling? So he's a pretty new user, or maybe not new, but he's not actually, what's called, very, common on this website, I would say. So next thing you want to look at is the condition. So he says it's like new. That's what he claims. Like new, unlocked Pixel Fold, porcelain 256GB, brand new Pixel Watch, comes with charger and case. Oh, sorry, charger cable, not case. I don't know why I say case. All right, so now you got, okay, well, you got to look at this again. Again, like I said, guys, you got to look at it. He says like new, right? Does it look like new to you? Well, first off, the camera doesn't look scratched up. A lot of times this metal right here gets very scratched up easily. Doesn't look scratched up, okay. It also does come with a case. That's why I read with the case, because it's the case with it. I'm not sure, but again, keep in mind, you might want to message him. Is it going to come with the case? Because it's very possible he posts his picture, but it doesn't come with the case. So you have to take that into consideration too. Now the hinge right here, that looks very scratched up. That does look very scratched up. It might be the angle, and it's not a bad idea to message him and say, hey, listen, can I get a different picture of the hinge, please? Because that hinge might be scratched up, or it might just be a bad angle with, the lighting. And it happens sometimes. Trust me, it happens all the time, actually. Especially with these hinges, because these hinges, I mean, listen, they're very shiny. They're very shiny metal. And little, things that they get shined off of can cause it to look like a scratch when it might not be. So that's another thing to take into consideration. Now, looking through here, we have one more here, and this is $1,140. Okay, we have a Obsidian model of AT&T. Okay, and then, like I said, before you even look at the pictures, we can actually see, okay, this person is a verified seller. Profile is verified. That's awesome. We can see the selling badges, which is cool. And we can also see 115 reviews. You could also read the reviews. That's another thing to take in consideration. So fix it here. We can actually go and see his reviews. See what people are saying. A seller canceled. This message is automatically posted by Mercari. So again, like I said, there's always things you can kind of look more into the seller to really see where the seller is and, what their idea is. Now, here's the problem with this phone. So this phone right here is normally $1,800. It came out a month ago. Now, it is strictly locked to AT&T, so that does bring down the price a tad bit. But usually a carrier-locked phone like this is going to sit at a price tag around $1,500. That's usually the price tag range. Now, if you add some more things into it, it definitely increases the price. But when it comes to strictly locked down prices, $1,500. Unlocked is around $1,600, $1,700. So this is a red flag. Why is this so cheap? Well, most likely this is cheap because there might be something wrong with it. And in the description right here, it says Google Pixel Fold 256GB, AT&T Orni, Obsidian, and phone has a clean ESN and no issues. Okay, so what is the ESN? So an ESN pretty much means that the phone is not blocked. A ESN is a say a serial number or serial code. It's pretty much if the phone is like, for example, if I'm financing right now, right, with Samsung.com, I'm not, but I'm saying if I'm financing this phone right here, the Galaxy Z Fold 5, if I'm financing that and I don't make my payments, well, what happens is Samsung will say, okay, Verizon, they'll call in and say, this phone is not making their payments. So I want this phone, all the connection, meaning the, not internet connection, but the data connection, any chance of using this phone with a SIM card, I want it blocked from every server. Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, etc. And that's what Samsung can do. So that is one thing. Now, if the phone is reported stolen or missing, what happens is the carrier, like the person reports it, right? And then the carrier will block this cellular connection on this phone. Now, that means even if I put a new SIM card in or whatever, it will not work. It does not matter if, I just get a new SIM card or anything. No. If this phone is reported stolen, lost in any way, it will not work. And again, same concept. If this is finance and you're not making the payments, they will cut your service off. I know with Samsung, what they do is first off, they will cut your service off for your company, your service provider, whatever you're using for this phone. And what they also will do is lock your phone out and becomes a brick. So just keep that in mind. There's a whole entire thing with that, but that is for the ESN number. So if it says bad, and a lot of times you'll see when you're buying a phone here, is it might be cheaper than, it might be cheaper than normal. Everything passes, everything looks good for you. You're sitting there, you're like, oh my gosh, this is actually really cool. I'm going to get this phone for so cheap. Wait, what is a bad ESN number? Well, that can't be that bad, right? Yeah, it is. That means your phone pretty much is a Wi-Fi only phone. That's pretty much moving forward. You're not going to be able to do anything on your phone cellular-wise, and you're going to have to use Wi-Fi only. So it definitely does suck, and it's a huge, huge loss in all honesty. And also, here's another thing. Let's say you did get a phone that was lost or stolen. Well, if there's an investigation with the police, you're going to have to turn that in as, evidence. You're not getting your money back. So keep that in mind. That's another thing that's going on with this, is to never buy a phone that has a bad ESN. Because first off, you're not going to be able to get it, unblocked from a service provider. You're not going to be able to do anything with it if it's Samsung, finance. So just don't do it. All right, so now we see that the condition says good. Okay, so it's not like new, but it is, again, good. All right, so usually when you see something like this, so first off, really good setup for their picture. So most likely they're a little bit more professional. This is not just an amateur selling this device and trying to get rid of it. This is more of a professional trying to post this image. That's awesome. That means that they're probably going to take care of your property when they are, shipping it to you. Now, this is not the best photo, whoever took this with a camera, because you can see it's kind of blurry. And this information right here, obviously I can't really see too much details on the phone to see if it's scratched or not, which sucks, right? That's number one. But I can also see this label. It says exactly what the phone is. Now, a lot of times when you get this label on a phone like this, it's one of two things. One thing sometimes is it's going to be a refurbished unit. This is because when they refurbish a unit, they kind of try to get exactly with the details, because they might be refurbishing like 20, 30, 40 of these things. So they usually just go ahead and put a sticker on it and then put it down the line, and then someone else packages up and sells the device, right? So sometimes when there is a sticker like this, it's a refurbished unit. So that is something to take into consideration. This might be a refurbished unit. Now, the seller did not tell us this, and the seller did not say anything, he said good condition. So keep that in mind. You might want to message the seller and say, hey, listen, I saw the sticker on the back. Is there anything wrong with it when it comes to, is this a refurbished unit or not? So next thing I want to say here is next picture right here. Again, we cannot see the phone that good. I mean, this image is really blurry. It's not clear. It's not HD. I would probably, in all honesty, after hearing that first thing I just said, I'm moving on from this completely. It's $1,100, so it's $700 less than it should be. And the pictures, I can't see. I can't, get a good idea of what this looks like. I can't go for it then. I have to be out. The price tag might look good, but guess what? When there's smoke, there's fire. And that's what is probably going to happen here. Now, in Mercari, you can really zoom in here, and you might say, well, it doesn't look like there's any scratches. You do not know. And again, keep in mind, some scratches you don't see until certain lights are on the phone and a certain lighting. So again, this does not, he doesn't say there's no scratches on the phone, but again, I can't make out every little detail. And if I can't make out details and you're charging $700 less, when there's smoke, there's fire. And this is usually when I go, I'm out, I can't do it, I need to see this. Now, you don't have to technically be out. You could message him and say, hey, listen, I looked at your images, I'm very interested. I like to always say whenever I am buying something is, when you message them, say, hey, I'm a serious buyer, I'm really interested in your device. Can I see more images? I couldn't clearly see, the phone if it has scratches or not. And if they're trying to sell it, they're most likely going to hit you back and say, yes, of course, and then post and give you some pictures. And again, that's what you want to always do. Get more pictures of this device because, again, you are giving them your money. You want to make sure you are getting the product that you're paying for and there's no problems at all. And again, like I said, these pictures, while yes, they do show the device, I will give him that. They don't show it in a clear manner that I feel comfortable with going through and buying this phone. So that's pretty much that, guys. I just wanted to break this down today, kind of talk to you about everything and give my thoughts and opinions. Hopefully, this video helped you out. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.